listeners, Harika here, and I'm super excited to welcome you to UppTalk. If you're ready to learn and get your hands work wonders in the world of information technology, then you're in the right place. When I say UppTalk, we are not just another edtech company. Consider we are your learning partner committed to unlocking your full potential. Whether you're stepping into the world of technology for the first time or looking to advance your career, we provide top-tier, hands-on courses to build up your career. Let's take our first step towards learning here and explore it.
Before we jump in, I want you guys to open your tenant and just open your report that you are using for this integration. How will you do that? Just put a colon after the insist. Open that. How will you see the report from here? You can see that integration service. In the come down to the right. That's your service to the right. That's your integration service. Just click on it and go to the report configuration and open this custom report. Go to the Advanced tab and the rest of the guys. Please follow what Pablo is showing on the screen. Can you scroll down? Scroll down. As you can see here, this is a temporary report, right? This is a training tenant. That is why whenever you are creating a custom report, it automatically gets created as a temporary report. Temporary report will have around, I think, 7 or 9 days. And for the rest of the guys, just ensure that if your report is expiring today or tomorrow, just let me know. Because if the report expires, what will happen is it will get automatically deleted from the tenant. Then when you run the integration, the report that you have configured in the report service inside your integration, it will throw an error because it will not be able to find your report. Just take a note of your individual report dates. This date report definition when it will be deleted. We need to just clone the same report before that. Now, can you just show us where we are? How did we actually get to that? And I'm sorry, we went to Report Configuration tab and then I got a little bit lost. Report Service tab. Do one thing. That, as you can see, John, we opened the integration system. If you know the name of the report, you can just search it. RD colon with the report name, it will give you back or less. You don't know the exact report name. How can you find it? You open your integration system, go to the service. This is your report service. Click on that report service. Then you click on it. I go to the report configuration. Here is actually your hyperlink of your report. You open this and then you edit or whatever you want to whatever you want. In this case, it's a temporary report. You guys just keep it in mind. Otherwise, if it gets deleted, you have to again recreate it. I don't want you guys to do unnecessary work. Is that clear, John? Any questions? Let's go back to the studio, Pablo. Now we have your individual row splitted and go ahead and go to the async mediation. Just hover on it over the async mediation after the splitter. Yes, on the body. Hover on the body, not on the header. Just click on the body. The first option. You see a red eval, the first option. Click on that. Create eval, click on that. This is called an eval component. Eval step. We can use this eval step to assign properties, right? Click on expression, the first tab. Here, sorry to interrupt. Where did you click to get that eval? Same way you are selecting log files, log store, same way. It's in the same menu bar. I think just let's get back. Click on the eval Pablo. Click on just add one expression here. Here, I just pinged a piece of code in the chat. Just try to key it in. I don't think you will be able to copy it. Props. What we are doing is we are assigning the employee ID value of our report output to this particular property. The syntax is basically you give your name props within brackets, just whatever variable or property name you want to put, then parts within bracket 0. Basically, don't put a space after parts. There is no space in between Pablo. Parts 0. This actually goes to a root part of the message and fetches. It takes a root part, and then it is fetching the value of employee based on what XPath you are providing. Report entry slash. Budding employee. Now let's dive into a bit. If you click on the strategy, strategy, the splitter component, the XML, that is the splitter strategy. Now, if you remember yesterday when I showed you the XML that is coming out of the report, that is the root is report data. The row level is report entry. When you are splitting the data, you are splitting it based on the XPath report data report entry. That means the root, then the row which is churning out each and every row. When inside that row, you want to select one particular field. For that particular field, for example, employed. In this case, the report entry becomes a parent. Initially report. Data was paid in reporting to child. Now we have dived into the child. Child becomes our root node. That is report. Entry is our root node now. And the child is employee ID. Is that clear? On this part, you declare which is your primary column, like for say that way. Can you open the report, Pablo? Let's go to the tenant and just open the report. Go to the columns. If you see the first column is the employee ID, right? It's a first field. If you think of it, if you can run it, let's run the report once. Custom report run. Now think about this as an Excel file, right? A spreadsheet. Employed is your first field. first name, last name, active status, email, right? Now what we are doing is we have opened. The studio has already created this row, this data, individual row. We are picking and selecting one field. First we have selected the employee ID. Next, we will pick the first name, last name. If in order to select the employee ID, what is our parent? What is our route in the XML log? That is the report entry. You got it. Is that for the system to have the reference when queried, right? If you can just open, click on the report. Link Pablo once, please. Just the link, just P, R demo RAS report. Click on the name of the report. Just click that. These column heading override XM alias, right? Employee underscore ID first name, last name, active status, email, home. This is actually coming up in your XML output. When you want the studio well expression which you are putting into the eval expression. This eval expression has to have the exactly same field name. That is WD colon employee ID, exactly same syntax or the same text which you have configured here. Let's say now in the eval expression, instead of employee capital, employee underscore IDU. You don't put the underscore in between, right? Then it will not give you any results. It has to have an exact match. The best way when you are in the real-time scenario and when you are trying to, create this integration, just go to the Studio Pablo. Best thing is after you do the split, just look at the log file. Do you have the block file? Can I just open it? Last time when you ran, right? You might have had the log file. Can you check the downloads folder once? Oh, you want to check the storage. Just log. See, here we go. I think you opened it. See the first row, right? See now, just because we have split it based on report data, report entry. You see the data is starting from WBD report entry here. Click on that. Just highlight that row, Pablo, if you can. Right. This is your data. When you are actually writing the eval expressions, just copy paste the field XML tags from this data. Always when you do the split, put a log file, take out this code, put it in a notepad and just copy paste your expression. Make sense? Pablo, if you can just assign the other values for first name, then last name active status. Let's do it. Let's go back to Studio. Click on the eval. Click a plus. Do the plus on the green, plus on the right. Let me get another notepad to throw the XML. You have to take UD as well. UD colon first name. The entire thing. And it can be in a different order or that's fine. Order doesn't matter. Just replace the no. Control Z. Do a Control Z. Do not report entry. A report entry is your outright. Just the employee ID. Basically, it's just like in other programming languages, we assign variables right. The values in the runtime where we pass the values. That's it. And this one props, how should I? It's like whatever you want. It's like the variable name, right? Whatever you, and can be the same as this one. Absolute, absolute, got it. Now similarly do the for the other fields. Just like you said, this is like assigning variables, right? Like your variable name, right? That was the question actually. Perhaps it means like you're declaring a variable with the name and then the expertise. The assigning the values. Got it. Perfect. Thanks. The reason, in a practical sense, the use case of initiating these properties. It's like if you want to maybe use these fields in an accessibility transformation. If you want to consume that in an accessibility transformation as a parameter. Or let's say you want to be based on certain value, right? Let's say for the active status, right? We will. You want to do some different kind of processing for active employees and some other kind of processing for inactive employees. You have to store the value, whether it's active or inactive, inside a variable, right? And based on the output of that variable, will branch out, right? That is what we are trying to go to. And also these eval expressions will become very handy when you are trying to ingest an attribute or ingest launch parameters, right? Or want to use a sequence generator services. All this we will learn in another day or two. Go to the design. First tab, Pablo, first tab. I think that's all. That's all. That's fine. The rest of the folks, are we done? Are we there? Pablo, now put a log file after the eval step. Can you put a log? Just click on the create. And in that click on that, just delete. Delete the message content. I don't want to see the message. Just delete. I want to see if the values are correctly getting printed. Click on the text. And I just passed it something in the log file. In real-time scenario, when you are building it, when you initiated the properties and assigned the values, you might want to check right whether it's actually getting the values as expected. You can just, but it's not coming on the chat. I'll tell you. Just write employee ID, employer ID, ample ID. Anything. Anything is just a header. E, put a dash. Oh no, anything. Now put at the rate. At what? At the rate. At oh that symbol. At milk. At symbol. Then open curly braces. No, don't write Gmail.com. Right? Open curly braces. No, the other one, the curly one. This one. Right. Prop. Right. Crop. Just whatever your video property name was, you can copy it from the eval as well. I think it was the same name, but let me check. The same name. Just copy. Just copy the entire string. This props employee ID. Oh, the entire. This one. No. The property name. The property name. Props. Yes. No. With the keep the curly braces. Keep the curly braces. What we are doing. What we are doing here is we are adding a dot to string. We are converting it into string format that we can write it in the log file. Did you open the curly braces? Do we have another one? No. After that open. After add symbol, there has to be a curly braces out. Curly braces. Props employee close it. No. With the bracket, normal bracket done. Then dot to string. TO, too small, all small as capital S string with a capital S to parenthesis, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Alright. And then close the curly bracket. Inside the parent or outside. The one that started at after at right. This string will show you the value of employee ID. Can you do it for the other fields as well? This is how you call the variable to be printed, right? Just copy and paste it 4 times and you can just change the name of the property name that way. Oh. Rest of the folks are we good? I am following. I just want to understand the syntax that we're doing here. When you go to the log and then you put the, it's kind of recalling the variable again. But why do we put that there? Like we are putting it there just to print when we print the value of the variable, that we understand whether the variable is getting assigned correctly or not. And you do that by putting that dash. I understand that is like something like similar to what you do in JavaScript or HTML code, right? And then you put the current code. That's what you're doing. Correct. You don't need this, but I just want you to learn how you print the values of a variable in the log file, because you will need it right here. We are doing 4 fields. In real-time scenario, you might have 7, 8, 10, 15 fields, right? If you're confident, fine, go ahead. But if you're not, because sometimes when we are putting the eval expressions, maybe a small, we might miss an underscore or we might miss something here and there, right? and then at the end of the integration, you are not getting the expected result. It's best practice which I follow, or which should be followed, is when you are building one block after another in a studio integration, small. Try testing it out. I am splitting it. Let's put a log file and see if the splitting is happening correctly. Now I have assigned the eval expressions. Let's put a log file and see the evaluation is like the expressions. Sorry, the variables are getting assigned properly. Right? That way it's same as any programming language. You don't build the entire module and then test it. You do it block by block, right? Just the same. Now rest of the folks, if you are done, then let's save it. Let's deploy it and run it, and let's see the output file, output data. Oh no, go back. Go back. You have to launch the integration Pablo on the top 3 related actions. Click on that. Integration. No integration. The fourth option, integration launch. We are going to check it via the log file. Yes, the log file. Server log. The first one. Employee is coming up. First name Johnson, active status. Then Jonathan Quinn, employee. Looks good for every row. You can see the XML output and then the employee first name, last name, active. Now our splitter is working fine. We have observed that, and our eval expressions are also assigning the values to the properties correctly. What about the other folks? Any errors, or are we good? All good for me. Perfect. Now that we have learned how to use a splitter, how to assign values to properties, now we will use that, and we will learn how validations work. The next phase is how we do our validations, how we will do logging, different logging techniques. Just a second. Pablo, can you just go back to your studio? Now how do we do validation? Workday Studio provides a particular step called validate expression. If you go to the palette, Pablo. On the tiny search, just write validate. Expand that and you see validate XP. Pull the validate X. Validate XP is a ML-based validation. Place it after the log file. If you open that, you can see that there is a place where you can write the expression. On the top right, there is a green button which, similar to the eval step, opens up a row where you can put the condition. In our case, now we will play with the active status right. In our report data, I think there are 2 inactive employees return the status. 1 retired, 1 terminated and rest are active. We will play with the active status to see how validation works and how we can write messages, how we can use PIM for logging the validations, logging the errors, and how we can use Cloud Log. Now the very interesting and weird fact about this step, and guys, I want you to listen very carefully. Let's say you want to flag or create a validation to check who all are not active. If you remember, our data is providing active status equals to 1 for active employees and active status equals to 0 for inactive employees. Ideally, if I ask you, Pablo, that what is the expression you want to write here to filter the inactive employees, you will write the property that you selected. Props active equals to 0, right? Does it make sense? If you want to write. But that is a variable that you assign here. Can you select that? Can you copy that active status? Take it, copy and place it in the valid expression. And put equals to 0. And in the failure message write, this is an inactive employee with single quotes. Just write it without any quotes. Just like a free text feed. This is an inactive employee, right? The error number, you can give it or not, doesn't really matter. The funny thing is, apparently this looks correct that active status is if it is 0. I find that I tell a call out that this is an inactive employee, which makes sense. But strangely, Workday Studio, I don't know how high they designed it in this way. It's actually the other way around. In order to generate a validation error for an inactive employee, you have to write the opposite. The write should be equals to 1. Or just remove the 0, just write 1. One question is, there is an exclamation mark. You can put it as well, or yes, not equals to. But the logic has to be the reverse. No exclamation equals to. But whatever it is, the logic has to be reversed. If you are trying to identify an inactive employee, instead of putting active status equals to 1, you have to do the other way around. For example, if you want to use the exclamation equals to, then here, in this case, you have to put not equals to 0. You need to look for the false value. Then, exactly. That is my point. False, provide the false value. Now, if you run this, you will get a error message saying that don't run it right now. Wait. And then messaging, this is an inactive employee, but let's try to make it, a bit better. Can you go to the Evil tab? Pablo, go to the Evil expression. Copy the property of first name. Copy it and paste it in the failure message. No, wait, let it be pasted in the beginning of the failure message. And do one thing at the beginning, put an @ symbol. Open curly braces and end the curly braces after the before this. Before the and the curly braces and give a space and do the same for the last name as well. Now copy paste and do the same thing for the last name. What I'm trying to do is instead of giving a blank reply that this is an inactive employee, I want to pass the first name, last name. And similarly, you can pass the employee ID as well. I want to see the error message. Keep the error message like this name. Let's say Pablo Rivera is an inactive employee, right? Remove that this is an inactive employee. Save it, deploy it. And now, wait. I forgot. Now we identified we are doing the validation, we are doing the message, everything. Now we want to pass this message to the integration event, right? What is the component that we can use to send an integration message to the integration event? Can anyone tell? Is it put integration message? Perfect. Fantastic, Rodrigo. Let's add a pin. We have this one that we haven't used. We can use it, or you can just drag it, put it there. And connect it right. Wait. No. You are sending the error. Here is another. If you want to send any error message from the async mediation, you have to add another step called send error. If you click on the async mediation, no, not from there. Click on that. On top there is a small menu that is opening up. If you click on the header, the right one, the rightmost one. Just let me get this one. Yes, there is a send error. Click on that. This is what it does is from the send error. Drag it and send to the put integration message. This means that when from the splitter, when your individual rules, the message is flowing through the mediation context, now it encounters the validation. That is fine. When your message encounters the mediation context, encounters the validate expression, step right. It evaluates that if whether the employee is active, yes, then it will flow through. But if the employee is inactive, it will treat it as an error and send the error to the port integration message. Only the inactive employees will filter out to the PIMN and the active employees will carry on to the next component. If you want to put a route or anything, any log anything, although think quickly. I'm requesting remote control. if you can just allow it. Let's make this a bit organized. Let me put a swim lane here and let me make the swim lane vertical. Let me give the name of the swim lane. Logging. Then let me pull it here, and then let me pull it here below that, and then let me take the swim lane and keep it here. Didn't go wait. Looks neat now. Now what we will do is, we will do an async. Put it outside the logging and from the async mediation where it put a log here. Got it? I will just add got it. I'll add another text, save it just to close it out. That this means the error will flow. This is the embed. It will hit an error here. It will send the error to this PI man and send the message, which is not an error forward. It's basically nothing but a try and catch. What is that? It's like if else try catch, whatever you call it. Rest of the folks, have we reached this till here? I am logging behind, but it's because I cannot put it like below. On the log, did you configure anything? I kept the message. Can you click on the log, Pablo? In the log just on top of the message content, I just added a text saying that I'm an active employee, like that. Just do that in the log file. We can see and understand that. This is how the data is flowing. This is like the else statement. Exactly. This is the if that is going to catch the if the employee is inactive, and this is the else. Exactly. And go to the PIM, go to the P, I am Pablo. We want also a dumb question. Sorry, how did you put the login thing like the integration measures below? I cannot put it like. I can just put it to the right side, not below. It kind of goes all the way to the right. I think you have to make it a vertical log. It's vertical. You go here and select vertical. Audit. The default for every swim lane, the default is horizontal. You can make it vertical. Again, you can keep it horizontal, but I prefer a mix of horizontal, vertical to make the assembly workspace as neat as possible. It helps in when you debug it. It looks better. I like it that way. I was trying to. Akash, can you click on the MVL and then click comment? Or can't? Did we set a filter on that? on the M wheel expression. Can you click on that? I don't have control, Pablo. I'm just trying to get which element. That one right there, Pablo. Oh, this one. Did we set anything on this? We have to set the expression, yes. I have the expression, but like under the, I guess? No, nothing. Pablo, if you can go to the put integration message. We want to flag it as an error, right? Currently this is in. It is set as info. If you set it as info, it will not consider it as an error. You have to change the info to error all caps. Message severity is error. It will let the integration complete with a status of completed with errors. If you would have selected here critical, then the integration status would have been failed. And go to the message summary. Just remove this. This is the output. Remove this. Remove the quotes. We want to bring in the message that we configured in the validate expressions step, right? How do you bring it in? We just write context all small. Context dot put a dot error all small m capital message with M capital. This is the way we bring that valid expression message here. It's basically nothing but at for this PIM, what is the context from where it is getting the data? Data flow. It is from the validate expression step. What is the context in this context? What is the contextual error message is nothing but whatever you configured in the M while step. Got it. Understood. Got it. Anyone else do you guys have any other questions? Oh, we are good. We can deploy and launch. I'll take that as a yes. Pablo, if you can just deploy and launch and let's see what it does. We have 2 employees and 2 errors. What we saw here, guys, is that just a second. As you can see here, there are 2 errors as expected. That means our valid expression step worked perfectly. All the data assignments to the evil is working fine. Using that evil properties to flag out the inactive employees working fine. But the other thing that we need to ensure is whether the active employees are flowing through to the next step of the studio integration, which is also working fine. Because if you remember, I added this statement here in the log file that I am an employee. And after every row it should repeat. Because why it should repeat? Because a splitter is doing row by row. Splitter is splitting one row at a time. Validation fires, churning out the non-active employees and taking the active employees through forward in the integration. Is that clear, guys? Shall we proceed to the next step? Anyone still yet to complete up till this? Make the ease. Let me take control. Is there an N after them? I can see. It's coming up with a blur. Can you remove that N after the M? The small case. All good? Let me check the message's severity. We don't need this document deliverable. I think we are using the same P. I'm from yesterday. You can remove this back. All good. You can just try to deploy it again and rerun. I think that was it because I was like in that. It's good that George, you understood where the error lies. As and when you keep on working in with Studio, you need to understand wherever the error is coming up. And one best way to go by it is whenever you are adding an async mediation component or any sender you are adding, give the name of the async medi, give a logical name to the async mediation, right? For example, now when we are pulling it, it is showing as async mediation. Then if you are creating another async mediation, it shows async mediation 0, 1, 2, 3 likewise. If you edit the name of the async mediation by going to the properties and let's say you add a logical name, right? That step for validation, right? Or step for report or a variable assignment. In the log file, when the error will come up, it will throw an error. It will tell you that which step your error is happening. That way it will be easier for you to debug. Now it's working fine. Working right. Perfect. Let's go back to the studio. Now for our case, there are only 2 employees, right? We send the use the P I input in search and send it to the integration event. 2 errors. We can see 2 errors. What if there are 100 errors? What if there are 150 errors? Let's say you ran the integration in production and you are seeing 150 errors. How will I download it? How to see like there is no consolidated Excel file, right? It's just sitting there in the event. In order to handle those kinds of scenarios and to make the logging technique smarter and better, the best way is to use a cloud log. cloud log is basically nothing, but it's a way to write interactive log files intended for the consumption of end users, right? Whoever is supporting the integration from a support team's perspective. Unlike the PIM or the normal log step, the cloud log actually allows you to present your users with CSV or an HTML file. If you create the cloud log as an HTML file, you can download it, export it as a CSV, or export it as CSV as well, right? A cloud log is basically you must keep it in you must have a variable in the cloud log and then a store step for you to actually write the output file. I will show you how. If you just remove the put integration message, George. Just remove it. Now put an async mediation below this particular async mediation. Here, wait again. Go to the palette. Just type cloud. Type cloud in the palette. Drag it and put it here. This is your cloud log step. Go to the cloud log step. Go to the properties comment tab. Here in the variable name, basically for cloud log, you have to assign a variable. This means all the errors that are coming up will be stored inside that variable. You will use that variable to finally print the log files using a store step. Put a variable name like something like errors or error log, whatever. Then click on HTML output file data type. Output file type as HTML. And here we are dealing with errors. Level, the severity level is error, and put a message something like inactive employees or inactive employees identified or whatever you feel like. And in the message details, remember last time when we were using the PIM, we used context.error message right to pull the message from the valid expression step. Here also we will do the same, but wrap it with a curly bracket with the at the beginning. Type context.error message. Is error, the spelling is correct. Now wrap it in a curly braces and put on at the beginning. Perfect. Looks good. And now reference ID, let's add it. Then when we'll generate the cloud log, we'll see what reference ID means here. Go to the eval. Click on expressions. Copy the employee property. The name. Come to the cloud log. Put it in the reference ID. Save it. It will throw an error. If you see that in the sent error, there is a red dot coming up. You have to link it. Now save it. Now wait. Now what your studio is doing? Your studio is identifying the errors and sending it into the variable that you selected in the cloud log. Right now, in order to generate the log file, what you have to do is you have to use a store step. What you're going to do is scroll up, go to the top. Now what you want to do is in your integration flow swim lane, add a local out integration flow. Here local out component. What we are trying to do here is, guys, that we want call the log file like the generation of the log file that we will do using a store step. We want to call that step. Once all the processing is done, when the report call is done, the splitting is done for all the employees. Just give it a name called log file or something. Put a colon before that. Call log file. Now add a local in. Local in after this. Not there, not there. Keep it outside. Anywhere outside. Keep it there. Name it log file. Save. Control S save. Go to the local out. Now you see the red dot coming up in the local out. Now go to the endpoint, the right arrow. We are basically connecting the local out with the local in. In the Properties tab, the endpoint, the fourth field. Now go to the Comment tab. Comment tab. You see the endpoint. Go to the right. There is an arrow, small arrow at the right. Click on that. What is your name? Nando1. You see the log file right. Log. What is which integration system you're using? Last consumption, right? I was looking at the one at the beginning. Click on that. Next, finish. Perfect. Now add another async mediation component after the log file and put a store step. Put a store step there. Now in the input, click on the store in the input, make it variable and add the same variable name that you used in your cloud log. And click on Make the Create Document References True. Now put this log file and as invitation inside a swim lane and wear it. Basically, we have created a separate swim lane only for logging purposes and we are calling this particular module after the entire flow of the integration. I have to connect this log file to the integration, right? Correct. Now save it, deploy and run it. And did you put a name in the store? In the store step, did you give a name to the file? I don't recall. Can you just see that? Check that. Put a name in the title. Put a name. That'll put it somewhere. Lotamo or something. Save it, deploy. The rest of the guys, are you good up till now? The last part, please for the name of the file. Anything, whatever you feel like. Oh, but it's on the title or where? A title in the title field. Just give it a HTML extension. Let's run it. It got completed, but it didn't generate the log. We should have file right. It should. Can I go to the studio? I think we didn't connect the local out. Go to the top. We have to connect the call report and the log file, these two components. Your studio processing was happening till call report. The log file thing was not called at all. Can you just redeploy and run? Can you open the log? Oh, the log, the log, the log, the log. Yes, yes. The cloud log always generates in your output file section. Now you can see that the level is timestamp is when the error got generated. Level shows you the error. The reference ID, you remember George. In the reference ID, we put the employee ID. Here in this reference ID, it's showing up the employee and there's a message summary and the message details. In the message summary, you see whatever you selected, right? Inactive employees and the message details is nothing but the context or error message which is coming from the envelope like the validate expression. Now click on the any one of the row. Just click on that. On the left, you can see the same information, right? What is the severity? What is the summary? All that stuff. Now go to the top right. You can see that option called Export to CSV. Click on that. In there, if you now open this in an Excel, you can have, if there are 100 errors, you can export in CSV as well. This gives the customers or whoever is supporting the integration a robust way of not only looking at the cloud log from an HTML and an HTML view. Also, they can, if they want, they can bring it down in Excel format and do the error handling or whatever data correction if they need or not. Look, sounds good. And can you just go back to the HTML file once again? The default. When you open the HTML file, the default view is in the Alt tab right. If you go to Error, click on that Error tab. You will again see these two rows because this is being determined by the severity level. Remember, in the Cloud Log section, you selected the severity as Error. Remember that. In the Cloud Log properties, there is a field called Level where you selected Error. That is why this level is coming up as Error. Let's say there is another async mediation where you want to just handle the warnings. If there would have been warnings also, you would have seen those in the Warning tab. Similarly for Info, for Debug, for Critical, you can see everything. If you export, it will generate the CSV output of all the different types of errors, whether it's critical error, warning, whatever. I would recommend you, whenever you are designing an integration or talking to the stakeholders, or if you are in a consulting company or talking to clients, always, and when this question comes up, that what about logging, always go with the Cloud Log because it's the best log file generation feature or like log file generation capability that Workday Studio provides. That's my recommendation. Now all everyone, have you completed till this? I'm getting an error. Where was the error log variable defined at? Which component was that in? It was defined at the Cloud Log. Then we are calling it in the store step as well. If you see that just up top there, in the variable name, you are selecting error log and the same variable. You're consuming it in the store step. I'm getting an error with it. I think I have it. Here's the Cloud Log. Here's the variable name error log. Can you scroll down? I want to see the other parameters in the Cloud Log. Can you go to the store step? The variable name is same, right? Can you go on top? Go to the top. I want to see the integration flow. The swim lane. Scroll to the top. Call Cloud Log. Can you click on that? Run custom report. jk_run custom report log file. Can you deploy it? I'll just deploy it and let's see. It should work. I don't see any obvious reason of any errors. John, whenever you are deploying, do not remove all the other projects from your deployment window, right? Just click on it. Wait, give it some time. I think it got stuck. It's getting deployed. Got deployed, but on the left-hand side of the Cloud Explorer. If you see, it's refreshing the Cloud Explorer. Now we can go click on that. Now wait. Guys, again, I'm telling you, whenever you are before hitting finish, just be sure that you are only deploying the project that you want to. If there are multiple projects opened in your assembly, it will come up here. You just need to remove it one time. That should be it. Just remove it because you don't want to overwrite the clar file of other integration unknowingly. That can mess up everything. Let's go to the tenant and let's run it, John. Wait, attempt to get data from variable error log in Miracom as requested. I'm talking about that error log variable still. It's not bound. Wait, let me check one. Something is. I'm requesting control. Can you open the Studio integration for me? Studio window for me. I am not able to. There is a bit of lag here. I am having a hard time. John, are you? Are you scrolling down or just don't swallow it? Let me take care of. Let me see I don't have my hand anywhere close to the mouse. Then it's behaving in a weird manner. I don't know. I mean that's all right. If I'm the only person getting that error, we can move on. I just didn't know if we still needed to keep building on the same exercise, in which case I need to fix it. You know? Fine, we will. I'll take a look at it. It's jk_run custom report, right? I will download your cloud and take a look at it, and I'll let you know what. What was the issue? Sounds good. Can you see my presentation open in front of me? In front of your screens, is it visible? We talked about how we can access the data in the mediation context using eval step using embed properties. We talked about logs, and the next thing is about the very interesting thing called route component. Route component is basically something that creates conditional branching. Again, it can be used as a while loop, as if else logic, for example, basically a component which you have to select from the palette, drag and drop it, and it. There are different strategies based on which the Studio assembly will loop the flow of the process. It's as I said, it's being used for looping and branching like any other programming languages, basic. There are the different strategies that are there. For route is like it can be mostly commonly used strategies are like XPath. XPath is what the XML path, like we did in the terms of splitter. We did the report data/report entry. We can use that as a strategy to identify what is the expression that should be evaluating to be true that the branching happens right. Then comes the InBL. I think most of the times you will be using embel. Embellal expressions is nothing but similar to what you use in validations, right? In validations, you use that. If active employee is active, then go ahead. If it's not active, then give it an error. Let's say, in your real-time scenario, you don't have to error it, but do separate processing, right? Let's say if it is an active employee, do processing type 1. If it is inactive, do processing type 2, right? That way you can use inbuilt. Round robin is something which is not frequently used. I distributes the messages evenly between different subroutes. Subroutes is nothing, but as you can see in the image here, that this is a strategy. We are selecting inbuilt strategy. This is to inbuilt expressions. One is active for active, X employees inactive. And then for this strategy, what are the subroutes? This is a subroute. This means if it is an active employee, it will route to this active subroute, and the processing will go ahead whatever you want to process it. Similarly, failover is something like, right? Like if an error occurs. It's like an if-else clause. If I can use that, like if an error occurs in passing the message to the first subroute, it will skip that and try the next. If there are 15 such subroutes, then it will keep on continuously trying it till it gets a success. Like all. All is a strategy which sends message to all subroutes, like sequentially, no one by one. Looping is again like a while loop, like while this statement is true, the loop will continue going on, right? And finally, there is the document iterator, which again, if you are consuming files from an inbound, like let's say from an SFTP path. There are multiple files, 10, 15, 50 files. You are consuming one file at a time. This document iterator strategy will actually loop through each and every inbound documents and will ultimately consume that file using a retrieval service. These are the different route components, like this is the route component, and these are the different routing strategies that are used, which we will do a detailed activity on this day after tomorrow. I just want to give you a brief overview on how the route component works, like how theory of the outcome. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@uptalk.com.